Hi everybody. Today for class I could not find a good video, so I decided to make one for myself. So we are once again going to be solving equations that do not really have numbers in it, that mainly have variables, and we're going to be solving for A each time that we do one of these problems. So our first equation says the following: A plus B, that entire quantity divided by 2 equals C. So I'm going to write this as A plus B, that entire quantity divided by 2 equals C. So we want to get this A by itself. So we need to perform a bunch of inverse operations in order to isolate our variable that we want to find, A. So to do that, the first thing we're going to do is we want to get rid of this 2 here. Although it seems like we might want to subtract B from both sides of our equation, we can't do that quite yet, because we could rewrite this as A over 2 plus B over 2 equals C, right? Because both A and B are both being divided by 2. So to get rid of our fractions here, we know from last week and what we did on Monday that we need to multiply both sides of our equation by our least common denominator, which in this problem is going to be 2. Or alternatively, we could multiply both sides by 2 because A and B are being divided by 2, and the inverse operation of being divided by 2 is to multiply both sides by 2. So I multiply both sides of my equation by 2, so this is going to cancel out our denominators. We're going to get A plus B equals 2 multiplied by C. So now we have A plus B, and we know that we can get rid of our B by performing an inverse operation of subtraction. So we're going to subtract B from both sides of our equation, and we're going to get A equals 2C minus B. And that's going to be our answer to this first one. This is not in the classwork. This is just a review video that I'm using for the beginning of our class today. So once again, our key here was to multiply both sides by 2 first, and then subtract B from both sides of our equation. Awesome, we have 2 more problems here that I'm going to solve for us. Our next one says AB plus CD equals A, and we're once again equals E, and we're once again solving for A. So here with this one, we have AB, so this is A multiplied by B, plus CD is going to equal E. So even though these two are multiplied together, they are not being multiplied by A, so we can get rid of this right away. How do we get rid of it? We use an inverse operation of subtracting CD from both sides of our equation. This we can think of as a constant. We could think of this as CD, C equals 2, D equals 3, as 2 times 3. So to get rid of that, we would just subtract 2 times 3 from both sides of our equation. So we get AB equals E minus CD. So done is we've taken the CD, we've eliminated it from the left-hand side of our equation because we want to get A by itself, and moved it over here. So now we have E minus CD is going to equal AB. Our final step, because we have A multiplied by B, is to divide both sides by B. We get A equals E minus CD, or our two values here, all divided by the quantity B. And that's going to be our answer to question number 2. All right, awesome. And our final, I don't know why I didn't change the number here, is going to be to solve for A once again. So we have A times B times C times D plus a value E is going to equal F. So the first thing we should do right off the bat is get rid of this E. How do we get rid of the E? The first thing we always need to do is subtract away any constants that we may have that are not connected to the A. So we're going to get A, B, C, D. That's going to be all these values multiplied together, equals F minus our quantity E. So to solve for A, we're going to have to get rid of all of these coefficients here. We can think of B, C, and D as all being coefficients on the variable A. So we can actually divide, we could do it one at a time. We could divide both sides by B and do it one at a time, or we could actually divide all of them at once. We could divide by B, C, and D all at once. We get rid of all of our coefficients at once. Those will cancel out, and we get A equals F minus E divided by B, C, D. And that's going to be our final answer there. Alrighty. Future Mr. Druckmann, who is hosting this lesson right now, I hope the lesson goes well for you. And yes, looking forward to a great lesson.